Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out. Today we're doing a cooler. What's cool about this one is it's got two compressors where you can make it either two coolers, two freezers, one cooler and one freezer. So it has all of this different stuff you can do with it. So we're gonna unpackage this thing, set it up, see how it looks, see how it works, pop it in my brother's truck, take it out camping, and just kind of get some photos of it, some footage on how this thing actually works and how it kind of blends in with your situation. Like if you're overlanding or just camping, or you just need to keep stuff cold. So if you want to see the pricing, all the other coolers that ICECO actually has, they've got a bunch of different coolers. Go ahead and check their link down below, down in the description there. And you can get one for yourself. So anyways, stay tuned guys. We're gonna check out the ICECO VL Pro Series cooler. Okay guys, so this is the cover. I'm gonna put this on the side for just a sec and let's tear in to the actual cooler real quick. Looks like it actually came with some extra straps here, which would be good to kind of have around the house actually. Got mom's flower scissors for the unboxing. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this thing looks cool, man. I didn't know it was gonna have this rugged plastic and rubber top to it. You can see ICECO branding right there. Actually have the box separate on the bottom, so you can just pull the whole box off. But there it is guys, the ICECO. Let's check it out real quick before we start this thing up. Okay, I thought this was gonna be the green one. They told me they sent me a green one, but I guess I got the black one. So let's see, we got, cool. We got handles that actually latch when you open it up. Wow, this thing is nice. So these won't open until you push the handle in and then they pop up. So nice dual latching on the front of each one. A nice seal right there inside. Looks like it's well insulated. Got ICECO on the top. And here's the inside, guys. We got two kind of baskets. So either with or without. I guess it would keep your stuff kind of up out of the water a little bit or make it easy for camping. Like if you wanted to bring all your food over to a camping table, do that. And then here's the other side. This is probably going to be the freezer designated side usually. But wow, look at that insulation. Real solid, insulated. Got a drain plug right here. So if you need to drain it, it looks like each side, yep, each side has its own drain plug. Yeah, all the finishing looks pretty solid here. There's where those covers are locking in. Let's see what this is. All right, extra drain plug with the instruction manual in case you lose one. Looks like these things just pull right out. There's no screwing on those. So user manual. Yep, there it is, cigarette lighter adapter. Cool, so you can plug this right into your vehicle to run it, which is pretty awesome. Or you could do power stations. I've got a lot of power stations I'm reviewing, so stick around for those guys and subscribe so you don't miss all that. But here is the plug. So that's going to plug into your lighter adapter in your vehicle. And it looks like this plugs into the cooler. And a little extra plug right here. Extra handle. Wow. Okay. So if you break a handle, that's unusual. Usually you don't see companies including extra things like that. So that's pretty awesome. Extra corner bumpers, even better. So if you're banging your cooler up, actually 4 extra corner bumpers. So at least you could do 4 of them. It looks like it's got 8 of them on there, but that's awesome. And then of course we got the tool and a couple of extra screws for, it looks like the handle, this guy right here. So that's pretty awesome. That's kind of above and beyond. I haven't really seen coolers ever do that and include all these extra parts. Let's see how this plug works. All right, so I'm gonna close this bad boy up. See how those just kind of snap closed. Feeling pretty good. And what I'm seeing over here, guys, is on this side. I'm just gonna pull this cooler up for you. Check this out. So this is like the power control station here. You have your temperature control on the right side, temperature control on the other side, left and right. Then you have your modes, max and eco mode, your battery monitor. I wouldn't think this thing has a built-in battery, but it's just showing the power source, I guess, voltage, like high, medium, or low. So like if you have it plugged into your lighter adapter and it's draining your battery, at least you can get a quick visual of if your battery's about to die. And it looks like the lighter adapter here is just plugging right in here, and that's how you're gonna run it if you have it plugged into your car. That thing is really solid in there. Once you push that thing down, it seems like it's really solid. And of course, that's one way to run it. You don't need to run it in your car and you just want to run it at home, or say you have another power station, go ahead and use this plug. This is kind of like one of those computer plugs that has pretty heavy duty with the 3 prongs on both ends. So you see that door says DC, this door says AC, and this is where you're going to plug in to an AC power source. So if you have a power station you're bringing with you camping, like, you know, those electric generators that I review a lot, or you just want to have it on your car, at least you have those two options. Those do kind of lock in nice and tight. And then when you do have it plugged in, you got two extra USB power sources. So if you wanted to charge your phone or tablet while this thing has power, at least that's a pretty good option. You can do that. And it looks like these are all, see how that's not just a cover that flaps over, they actually plug into each power slot. Anyway, there we go. We got a little bit of film on there. I'm gonna just leave that film so, you know, it doesn't get scratched up. Taking a look at the bottom, pretty heavy duty, you know, got everything, all the insulation there, all the injection molding ports here. But yeah, looks pretty robust. There's those bottom corner pieces, same as the top. All right, well, that's the cooler. Let's get it into the truck, see how it kind of cools some stuff. Probably gonna either run it on a power station or just plug it right into lighter adapter, 12-volt socket. We'll see how it runs on both. Almost forgot the cover, guys. Wanted to unbox this with you since we're already doing this. As you can see, this is the cover for the 75 Pro Dual Zone. Since they all have different sizes, you kind of got to make sure you get the right cover size. So let's see what this thing looks like. I got a cover because, you know, you're off-roading, whatever, you're gonna start getting a lot of dust in your truck, especially if you have the cooler out like in the bed of your truck, right? So with a cover, you can just protect your cooler just like you would like a car cover or whatever. Okay. Oh, wow, it's actually kind of padded. That's kind of cool. All right, last zipper, and there we go, zipped up. Check this out, dual zone opening. You do have to unzip the very top, but then it looks like you can open them individually. So say you've got the cover on, you only want to access the left side, unzip it to there where it turns to go down, and there you go. You can access your fridge or freezer section. You don't have to take the entire cover off. That's awesome. I had no idea it was going to be that versatile. It does have a little bit of a rattle to it. So, you know, just showing everything. You can see how that's a little bit loose there. So maybe the latching tolerances could use a little bit of work. But overall, I mean, probably gonna hear a lot of stuff rattling in your truck besides a little bit of the cooler cover, right? And there it is. Let's check it out. Yeah, we can access all our controls from this panel. I like how this see-through plastic cover kind of guards the screen here. Great cooling for the compressors all the way around. Anyway, guys, that's the cooler with the cover. Get this thing out in the truck and see how it works in a vehicle. Well, guys, I was just gonna bring this guy out to test in the truck, and remember I was talking about that cover being a little bit loose, and even though it's a little loose, the reason for that is you can't only open it one way, you can open it both ways. So really cool universal deal there. See how you have dual sides open, or take the whole top off. So that little con I had actually turned into being a bonus, because I'd rather have a cooler, I think, that can do all that and have, you know, a little bit of latch shake than not be able to open it both ways or just take the whole thing off. So that's actually a pretty awesome bonus. And it also has, like, there's a little sticker inside and it tells you the specific temperatures you should have all these different kinds of foods and drinks. So little bonus on the inside cover for you. That's actually a really cool bonus that I had no idea it did until my brother actually told me about it. All right, guys, got the cooler in the back of the truck here. We're gonna go ahead and just try to plug this thing in, kind of see how it works for its first run. Went ahead and left the actual cover on it, so maybe, you know, a little more less convenient when you have the cover on to open it up, but, you know, just to show you guys how it kind of all works. So we're gonna go ahead and plug into the truck here. So my brother's truck, pretty awesome truck. He kind of retrofitted a little 12-volt power in the back right here. So we're gonna go ahead and plug that bad boy in there, and then use the cable that this thing comes with and go ahead and plug it into the power port right down here. Plug it in, we get a little power up on the screen initially. Make sure that thing's seated in there. Nice, okay. A little bit of a glare. Let me try to push this cooler in so we don't have so much glare on it. Still quite a bit of glare, but I think you guys can see that. So we have our two cooling zones. Right now it's at 57 and 56. So then you just basically adjust each one how cold you want it to be. Of course, freezing is like 32 degrees, right? Oh, cool, okay. So it's telling you the temp that it's at right now. And then when you start hitting it, kind of like a thermostat in your house, you start tapping it, and then it starts telling you what you want to set at. And then right now it's on eco. Maybe I'll just hit max real quick. Looks like you gotta hold this button down and then it goes over to max for like faster cooling, maybe for the initial cooling down of both compressors and both compartments. So let that cool down a little bit. I got like some water in there and see if it gets it cold after, you know, a little while. And we can look over here on the left little module, the battery monitor. And actually what this is, it's a battery setting where if you want the cooler to shut off with the maximum voltage you have on your battery, it'll shut off before a certain voltage car battery drops below. If you hold this little icon in here, this little button, you can switch it. So this means all the way at the bottom where the battery looks very low, this means that the cooler will keep running until it's at this very low voltage it pulls your car battery down to. So if you don't want it to drain your car battery that much, just go ahead and leave it on the one of the two top settings, you know what I mean? So you still have more voltage in your car for starting and whatnot. Okay guys, this thing's been cooling off of just the battery in the truck for about 10 minutes. Let's see what our temps are at. All right, so pretty good. In 10 minutes, it has cooled the left side to 39 degrees. And this was, remember, from 57 degrees was its temp when we started. And the right side, it's gotten down to 41 degrees. I got the regular power cables right in this little pouch that cooler cover comes with. And I actually have this Bluetti power system here that I'm also testing. And I want to see if I can run the cooler off of this guy. So we're going to plug AC power cable that comes with the cooler into one of these AC ports. And we're going to plug the other side into the AC input for the ICECO cooler. Okay. And then we just need to hold in the power to turn this thing back on. Let's see if it kind of picks up where it left off. Nice. Yeah. So my battery monitor is at the same mid-level that I had it there. So it'll leave like, you know, at least enough charge in your vehicle to hopefully start a few times. And it looks like it remembered. Let's see if it remembered all the temps. Yeah, so at least it's got like an onboard flash memory, so it remembers the temperature you had them all set at, and it's still at max. So I'll give it another little while to run off of this power generator here, and let's see if these can get a little cooler. We're at 39 on the left and 36 on the right now. So let's see how that does in another 10 minutes. You hear anything? You can really just barely hear a tiny little fan in there. So that's a really big bonus for a cooler like this, not to have a lot of noise if it's like in with you in the cabin or something. All right guys, checking in with you. It's been about, gosh, I want to say only about 5 more minutes, and we have a temp drop down to 23 degrees on the left, 38 on the right. So it seems like the right one is taking a little bit longer to cool. Right now it's taking 60 watts. It's been kind of fluctuating. It was taking like 48 for a while. You can see it there on the AC. It was taking 60 watts. I'm gonna go ahead and put it into eco mode, but I'm not sure if it will go into eco mode if it's still trying to just cool everything down. So to put it in eco, we're just clicking and holding that gear here, and then you see how the green light is down to eco there. So let's see now how much power it's pulling. So it looks like it takes 60 watts max and then 47 in eco. And keep in mind, this is the cooler trying to get to the temperatures you set. So it's definitely going to be drawing more now till it reaches those temperatures. I'd imagine the compressors are going to kick off. So kind of cool. When it reaches those temps, I have some bottled water in here. When it reaches those temps, I'll check in again to see how much power it's pulling, and we'll see how cold it made the stuff inside. I don't hear any cooling fans right now on it, which is good. And actually, if you can see this, let's see if you can see the video on this. Sorry about the glare on this thing, but the cooling icon has actually gone off on both of them. So right now it's just kind of in standby mode. And I'll tell you, when it did that, it switched automatically to eco, which is cool. So it's trying to draw as little power as possible. You can see the left side is now at 18 degrees and the right is at 14. Let's move over here to the power consumption on my power generator. And we can see that it's taking 0 wattage right now on the AC. There's 0 wattage being used. So, you know, that's some good information there. If you're ever wondering how much a cooler or refrigerator takes while it's kind of on standby and reaches its temperature, it's taking nothing. If you had this cooler plugged into one of these power stations like this, these battery power stations, I would expect this thing to last a couple days, you know. And I do have this thing connected to a solar panel system. And so if you get one of these, you're out there overlanding or camping or whatever, you can either charge it by a solar panel charge it at your home, of course, so like 100% before you go camping. Or remember, it has those outlet charging cables too, where you can charge it from your car. So all in all, it took about a half hour to cool this thing. And remember, yeah, that's getting kind of colder, you know. It's gonna take a while to be freezer status, but this is definitely a cold bottle of water now. Let's try it out. Yeah, that's fridge temp. All right, guys, well, my brother had to split, so I couldn't really run this thing overnight in his truck, and it wasn't even really cooled down and it had anything really frozen in it. You kind of want to do that, plug it into your house before you go camping and stuff. Get all your food in it, get your freezer stuff in it, your fridge stuff, whatever. Have it on your house plugged in, get it to the temperatures you want, then go ahead and go on your camping trip. If you're trying to cool everything down on your vehicle, it's just gonna take a lot longer and it's gonna rob your portable juice, right, on your vehicle. So I just went ahead and popped it in here overnight. This is the next day, just have it plugged into the wall. And just wanted to show you guys what the temps are at now. I went ahead and set one side for 41 on the recommended. You remember I had that plaque on the inside. So one side for 41 just for cold drinks and refrigerated food. And then the other side is set to 0. It seems like this is the lowest I can go to 0 for. So that's like for freezer foods and stuff. I don't think it matters really this mode here when you have it on the house, you know, but at least you have that option when you have it on a portable battery, how much juice to suck out of your battery there. So I'm just gonna leave it on the middle. But anyway, I put a few bottles of water in here and just kind of left them in there overnight. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys if they froze or not. I haven't even really checked it yet. So this is kind of my first time opening the thing back up since I put them in on the evening last night. And let's see what we got here. So pop this side up first. This is going to be the freezer side. I don't know if I mentioned, but look at those cool LED lights too on both sides. I don't even know if I mentioned that outside when I had it on the truck there. So here we go. Frozen solid. Look at this. So that's a bottle of water. I just wanted to test the upper part. I have this side as the freezer. Of course, you can do either or. And then I would put a bottle of water in the lower part too. And then that's also frozen solid. So it is freezing things just like, you know, it's supposed to on that side. And then this is so that's the 0 degree. This is the 41 degree, and that is nice and cold, super cold, ready to drink. So, you know, beers, sodas, water, juice in this one. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. There's really nothing else to talk about this thing. I mean, I could have a thermometer, but as you can see, I trust it because it's freezing these bottles of water. So definitely seems like so far a pretty good cooler. I did notice a few other people reviewed these, and one little con that I noticed is on the shielding on the inside. This is not all one solid molded piece, right? On this like tinfoil stuff here, this thermal layer here on top of the foam. So it has a little seam. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a little seam where it kind of, the bottom connects to the top. And some reviewers were saying that if stuff like meat or water or whatever gets in the cooler and it kind of leaks the juices, it can get in that little crack here and it might end up getting inside the cooler in little crevices and start to stink, right? Start to rot. So I would highly recommend before your first startup, once you open this thing up, take that clear silicone and go ahead and coat like a bead all the way around any kind of seam you see. Of course, the drain plug, not really necessary, maybe just around where the drain plug edge is, but anywhere you see a seam there, you know, there's a seam here all the way around this too. Just go ahead and before this thing gets cold, make sure it's all clean in the surface areas and put a little bead of that silicone caulking glue that you'd normally put around your tub or your sink. That's about it, guys. I mean, cool cooler. I'm glad they're able to send me one for trial. Didn't get out to go camping with it this time, but it works. It's very quiet, like I was saying, extremely quiet. You can really just barely hear the thing when it's on. Lights are very nice because you can see what you're doing. Remember, opens both ways. And that is, I haven't seen many coolers do that, so pretty awesome. Dual side opening, or take the whole dang cover off if you're cleaning it or whatever you want to do. You might want to get this cover because the inside of it is actually helping the efficiency of the cooler. Anytime you have more insulation on anything, it just keeps the cold in better, or of course the warm in. in this case cold. So would really recommend getting the cover like this. But you know, anyway guys, I hope you like that review of the ICECO 75 Pro Dual Zone. Gonna be doing some more with this, so stay tuned. In a little bit we'll be doing, you know, more camping with it and stuff, and I'll keep you informed on how this thing is working. But for what it is, you know, as long as you have the power to push it, at least it gives you a few cables that you can do your lighter adapter in your car or just a regular AC outlet. As long as you have the power to push it, the thing works great. I'd highly recommend it. So far I haven't used it that much, but it does what it says it's going to do. Super quiet, like I said, and it seems pretty durable, and it's very versatile with all that stuff. Anyway guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next review. Thanks for watching.